welcome to another fantastic episode of the Movie Dump Podcast.
Where we answer the burning questions in life, such as whatever happened to preparations A through G.
You write this down.
You really did. I'm looking at a piece of paper.
I'm looking.
You wrote that down.
This whole time, I thought you were doing these from a whim, and you're preparing this.
Yeah.
Well, this
damn
one,
you,
this,
Scott.
This,
damn you.
This one was actually prepared. My other ones weren't. I just thought I thought of this sometime in the middle of the week, and I was like, "Hey, that's clever."
Yes.
And it was clever.
Yeah,
so.
it was. That was kind of interesting. This week we watched a very interesting film.
Yes.
Santa's Sleigh, starring Bill Goldberg as Santa.
Yeah.
Nick, you didn't. You didn't do any preparation.
I didn't do any. I didn't do any preparation at all on this. I didn't. All I knew is that it was a wrestler, WCW wrestler or WWE wrestler, whichever whenever you want to follow him. Bill Goldberg was Santa. Jewish Bill Goldberg was Santa.
There was a lot of well-known Jewish actors and actresses in this film.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they all died in the first 2 minutes too.
It's like let's take all the Jewish actors, throw them into the opening
one
scene,
room and have Santa Claus
just
massacre them.
Big huge massacre.
First impression of this movie, like the first 2 minutes of it kind of started off, and there you're watching this, and there's Chris Kattan, Rebecca Gayheart, and the other guy who I can't remember, Fran Drescher. There's all these big, I wouldn't say they're big name celebrities, but they're all people I know
They're
of.
recognizable.
Yeah, they're recognizable Jewish celebrities.
And they're all sitting down for dinner, and I'm like, damn, there's actually a lot of kind of big names of this. I'm kind of surprised by that, because I did no research at all. I'm like, that's
before we get
big.
too far into the plot, let's...
Scott, I swear to God, if you cut me off again, I'm going to murder you.
This is for all last time when I was like, but I want to. And he was like, and you know what?
I'm gonna be like completely like the bitch of this episode, because I did no research.
Yes.
I didn't pull any sound bites.
No.
Ben, you have control of the soundboard on this one.
I'm glad that
I prepared the sound
prepared.
bites this time. That's
I didn't do any.
We'll have to see how
anything.
this goes. That's a strange turn of events.
Yeah, so it better be good,
The
man.
soundboard is in front of Ben.
Well, it's
Yeah.
okay, because I have this little tiny kid soundboard just for you. You can press it and have a duck quack or something.
Can I press a button on it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. This is the most awesome soundboard ever. I'm gonna press another one. That one wasn't as good, but whatever.
So Scott, tell us what the synopsis is for this lovely film.
Oh, well, it's basically Santa Claus is actually a demon who lost a bet with an angel, so he becomes the giver of toys and happiness. But when the bet is off, he returns to his evil ways.
Can I do my synopsis now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm going to do this every film. That's the official synopsis of it. The Nick Brown synopsis is Bill Goldberg fucks some shit up. Like that.
Yeah,
there we go.
Bill Goldberg.
Yep.
Some shit up.
So now can I say my first two minute impression that Scott cut me off?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
No, Nick.
As I was saying,
No.
God damn it! All right, there was like all these celebrities sitting around the dinner table, and they're all going to have dinner, like Fran Drescher and Chris Kattan and all them. And I'm like, there's a lot of people in this film, and it started to go on a little bit too long. Like they're kind of doing their dialogue, and I'm just like, okay, this movie's gonna suck. And then Goldberg busts through the fucking chimney and kills everyone, and I'm like, oh, okay,
It's a pretty good breakdown of the beats in that scene.
Yeah, it's almost like they did this movie, and they realized they had maybe $5,000 left over, and Brent Ratner called in like a bunch of friends, and he's like, hey, we're going to be in this film. So they just blew their wad on that opening scene. They like spent all the rest of the money just bringing them in for like an hour and a half and killed them all.
Well, they brought in like recognizable celebrities so people could watch it. And that first scene, they're like, "Okay, I know that person. I know that person. I know that person."
Yeah.
And then they just murdered them all. And you're like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
It's a pretty good hook, though. I mean,
Yeah,
it hooked us. We were like, holy crap, they just killed almost the entire cast right there.
Yeah, as far as like shitty movies go, like we usually review like movies that are really, really bad, but I think as far as like on the scale, if
I
like,
was entertained the whole entire time. On
I thought this was good.
I concur. sure.
It was kind of like, if you look at all the movies we review, like on a level of producers that like direct this type thing. Like Brent Ratner directed or produced this.
Yeah.
So it was really like this is the highest highest ranking producer of any film that we reviewed.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
I think. I don't know. Or maybe we just dropped the ball.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I should apologize to you guys. I seem to have failed in the shitty movie department this time.
No, it was.
I don't know. Well, this will be a very
shitty.
interesting closing comments. I think.
Yeah, it wasn't
when we get
shitty,
around
but
to
it was. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Once again, it's sort of what happens when you go and have sort of a no research policy on your shitty movies. So,
how did you pick this movie anyway?
Well, I was thinking about something that was, Christmassy themed since it was December. Like I was explaining sort of at the end of the last podcast, with all the beatings that I got as a child. Wait a minute.
What?
You aren't my counselor. But yeah, so I was looking for Christmas movies that were crappy, and it came down to like this one and a handful of others, like
Black Christmas.
Black Christmas was one. There was also one that was like elves, which were really bad. There was a couple other with like murdering Santas, which just didn't seem like they were that interesting. And on this one,
you saw Bill Goldberg's name. And
I looked at it, and the cover was really crappy looking, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this could be horrible.
I have to say,
I basically picked it off the cover.
When you first said this, and I saw the cover art for the movie, and I saw it was Bill Goldberg, I was like, oh crap, another wrestler in a movie.
Yeah,
and it's
I'm thinking like Santa with muscles or something.
Yeah, I was like, this is gonna be shit. And then I watched the trailer, and you could tell like straight from the trailer that this is a comedy. This isn't a horror film.
Yep,
this is a straight up comedy. And it's just balls to the wall crazy. I was expecting horror going into it. I think actually because I didn't know. I was almost expecting horror.
So I was sort of expecting more slasher flick than anything else going into this. But.
See, watching the trailer and then doing a little bit of research on it, I just this is fucking ridiculous. This is a comedy.
I think this one goes on record as being the only film that we watched once we completed, and then we watched all the extra features. On
yeah.
the DVD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have to say that this is so far the only film that we watched that I am definitely going to be buying. Yeah. I am adding this movie to my collection. Besides the ones that I already had that we pulled from.
Yeah. Right.
And nobody wants to look at those ever.
Yeah.
I think this is my new holiday. It's going to be my new holiday classic. In the duration of this podcast, I've gotten 2 new holiday classics. Thanksgiving, I'm always going to watch that on Thanksgiving, and now I'm going to always watch this movie on Christmas.
This should definitely take place of the Christmas Story that they do, the 24 Hours of Christmas Story.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can I say? Can I pick them or can't I pick them?
You can pick them. Yes.
Now would be a great time for like a Ralphie soundbite, but I didn't pull in anything. So
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Scott, do a Ralphie soundbite.
Do I have to?
Yes.
I'm so bad at these.
I just do one.
Okay. Here we go.
It better be good.
And
we don't have a button for it, you dumbass. You just have to say it.
You're sitting here looking at
that wasn't.
There's no freaking button.
No,
for it.
you
just drew a freaking square on the freaking table with a magic marker. Oh, what is wrong with you guys? Oh, I quit. That's
all right, let's get into
I don't think Scott's ever seen A Christmas Story.
I don't think he has.
Just say you'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah, just say it.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
There we go. That was a great soundbite. Scott, you suck.
Yes. So this story, Santa is supposed to be the spawn of Satan. Pretty much, he's the Antichrist.
I think there was a really really cool.
It was a very
mythology.
Good, it was a very good backstory on why it was happening.
They took some time to go and sort of develop, what was going on, and in a sort of strange, not quite making sense way. It actually
made sense.
Yeah, it made sense.
I was listening, going, "This is actually believable."
Ben, did you pull a sound?
Yes, I did.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking of like all the sound bites that I should have pulled.
Yeah, I have the sound bite.
You gave up the power when you put the board in front of.
All right, I will press it.
All right.
Soundbite.
In the history of man, there have been only 2 immaculate conceptions. The first being God and the Virgin Mary and the birth of their son Jesus. The second was Satan with the Virgin Erica and the birth of their son Santa. On the anniversary of his birth, there were always a great number of unexplained deaths and murders. This day became known as the Dag of Mord, or the Day of Slayings. Eventually, Christianity spread, and when the Dag of Mord arrived, the townspeople would have a Mass of Christ, or a Christ Mass, where they would pray to their Lord for protection.
Hearing their call, God sent down one of his angel generals from the heavens. The angel took the form of an old man. He encountered the young, ill-tempered Santa not far from his home. Santa was ice fishing with the ornery little people, the elves, on a frozen lake. Knowing the son of Satan was a gambling sort, the angel challenged him to a contest. The contest was a simple one. Who could slide a rock across the lake and land it closest to the ice fishing hole without the rock falling in? If Santa won the contest, he would deliver the confident old man to his father for an eternity of pain and suffering. If the old man won the contest, Santa would not only have to cease the Day of Slayings for the next 1,000 years, but would also have to turn the Dag of Mord, Day of Slayings, into a Dag of Glee, Day of Joy.
So that was pretty logistically plausible. I think that was a really good
makes sense.
thing.
I just like how the way that Christmas came about was Santa and an archangel had a curling match.
Yeah.
Even though curling wasn't invented until like the late Middle Age or in Scotland or whatever.
Well, they didn't.
It was like 14th, 15th century in Scotland.
They didn't refer to it as a curling though. They were just trying to throw rocks
into a hole. Yeah, it was fucking curling.
But it was fucking curling. It was a curling, ball or rock or whatever the fuck it is.
I think it's a stone bend. I think it's a curling stone bend. Didn't you watch the Winter Olympics like everybody else?
Yes.
At 4:00 in the morning.
Yes.
Okay, then you should know it's a curling stone.
I'm sorry, I did not take notes.
It's not like we're doing a shitty Olympic podcast. I know.
It's like next we're going to be reviewing the ribbon dance.
What?
What?
They
have ribbon dances in there.
I don't know. Isn't that in the Summer Olympics?
Yeah, why not? All right, let's move on.
All right, anyway.
Soundbite.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Talbot.
Thank you, and go fuck yourself.
And moving right along.
Nice save.
Yeah, see, you're like my Padawan. That's usually my trick. I have the just random soundbite to get out of an awkward situation.
Yes. But they're always good.
You've done good.
Yeah, yes.
Anyway, I think like Goldberg in this, he really looked like a real badass. I really dig the costume that it was.
Yeah.
Again, not doing any research. I was expecting just regular Santa suit, and maybe he was like a mental patient or something. But no, they went like totally out. He was like Norse barbarian. Santa.
It was a very Viking-esque type of feel, and instead of your normal reindeer or like a mutated evil-looking reindeer, they have a fucking buffalo.
That was cool as shit.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Yeah, but so there's a lot of kills in this movie. Over the top Christmas themed kills. So far, this is the only movie like this.
I don't know.
Excuse me. That we've watched that actually had its own kill count on Wikipedia.
Did it?
Yeah, it has a whole section there on Wikipedia of everyone that died and where.
I don't know if I would call them like Santa or Christmas themed kills.
I guess they're
Death by Candy Cane isn't
Death by Candy Cane.
There was a menorah in there. He killed somebody with a menorah.
He killed someone with a freaking star off the top of a tree.
Yes, I think one of the
killed someone with a Christmas turkey.
Yes.
Did he? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Shoved it down his throat. And
well, maybe there was.
Yeah, I mean, they were all kind of where he runs over the grandfather. Soundbite. Grandpa!
Oh, Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
Like that.
Okay.
Like that.
So,
yeah, there's a lot of but it follows the story is it follows Douglas Smith and his grandfather, which you find out later on in the film is supposed to be the archangel that Santa originally had the curling bet with.
It's just the plausibility of that is
It's just fucking ridiculous. But they made it. They made it make sense. And like halfway through the film, I kind of called it. I was like, all right, it's gonna, Grandpa's gonna end up being the Archangel, and they're gonna have to do another curling match at the end.
And they did.
Yeah, they did.
There was one thing that I thought was really cool when they were kind of telling the history of it. They showed the history of it, like in the old fashioned, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stop motion
animation
type thing with an angry really cool. Santa and all that stuff. That was pretty cool.
That was shitty in a good way.
I have to say that this movie had like it was a good movie, but it was the little details in there that made this just over the top.
Agree.
And made it like the complete package. And, and sound.
Well, that and the cameos. The cameos really brought this together, too.
Yes. And there was little one-liners here and there, and it was very... I thought it was a very interesting and surprisingly funny script.
Oh yeah,
for what? I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Like I think as I said before, like I thought this movie was going to be shit when I brought it in.
Yeah,
but it was pretty entertaining. It was.
Yeah, besides that opening scene, that the 2 minutes in the opening scene where it just felt like it was just a little too long.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just went. It was go 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 go. There was little tidbits here that if you caught it, it was interesting and it was funny.
Yeah, there were
little jokes here and there. That
little
were funny.
jokes.
It was
like
mostly...
the gas station, one where on the sign, just the way that it was separated. It said, eat here.
Yeah, it was one of those little,
get gas.
Yeah, like little truck stop.
It was like a little truck stop, and it said, eat here on one side of the building and get gas on the other side. But with the wide shot that they did, the establishing shot, you see the full building, and you see the eat here, get gas.
Yep.
And it was just
Are they trying to insinuate that if you eat there, you get gas?
Yes.
That was clever.
Well,
very clever of them.
Yes.
If that isn't a clever picture on the internet, I don't know what it would be.
That and another one in the strip club. What was it? Gold Diggers.
Yeah,
Gold Diggers.
Yeah, Gold Diggers.
Where Goldberg is in there, massacring everybody. He goes to grab the pole and use that as
that was
a weapon.
Really cool.
And right before he touches the pole, he just looks it up and down and grabs sanitizer and sprays it down, wipes the pole off and cleans it, and then he goes into grabbing it. It's just little tidbits,
little things like that.
It's a health conscious Santa.
And very health conscious, angry.
Nordic
massacred Santa. Yeah, it was great.
I agree. There was like a lot of little things in there that was really cool. I think my favorite little thing almost was instead of Google, what was the name of the search engine that he used when he got on the computer?
Oh,
it was like Hooyah or something like that.
Hooyah.
Yeah. And like when he did the search, like Hooyah! I think that's what it was. I don't remember.
And when he's
again, since I didn't pull sound bites, I don't remember freaking anything.
Well, you can't really do a sound bite off of that.
There was a sound bite of the little like Hooyah.
You barely hear the Hooyah, but
yeah.
I mean, if you weren't watching it,
that and the gonad.
gonad.
What was it?
It was like the Santa radar.
Yeah, like you kind of how NORAD does the Santa radar type thing, and he logs on freaking the little kid or a teenager.
Yeah, he's like 16.
16, yeah. That's
the dude from Big Love logs into the gonad site and to track Santa as he's going around the globe, and he jumps into a little chat room session with somebody on there, and he's like, "Is this?" Is this for real?
Yeah, is this tracker for real?
And the guy's like, how old are you?
It's like, first off, how old are you?
Yeah,
16.
Then no, it's not real, and neither is Santa.
Sorry. Your parents didn't have that conversation.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice little touch.
That was a little nice little thing in there. Yeah, this whole movie was just about the nice little touches and just the slaughter that Santa Claus Goldberg.
I kind of wish they went like a little bit further with it though. Like I think throughout this film I was just craving more Santa kills and more Santa like Goldberg basically. Like I just wanted more of it, and I wish they went like hyper crazy with it and went totally over the top. I don't think they went as over the top.
Well,
as they could have.
Again with a budget that they had. I mean, it wasn't a big huge
I should have fucking
production.
hired Chris Kattan at the beginning. Then I don't know.
I think they just
I don't think
blackmailed
Chris
all these
Kattan's
people.
pulling big bucks.
I think they just blackmailed all these people to be in the movie.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, what has Fran Drescher and Chris Kattan done recently besides this?
Fran Drescher is actually she is a cook in a high school cafeteria now, and Chris Kattan is a lab rat.
I thought they got arrested for doing that thing in the place where they thought was international waters, but really wasn't.
China? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Soundbite!
Santa?
Thank you.
You're
That was a
welcome.
good
Yes.
one because we were going nowhere with that joke.
Exactly. Moving right along.
You're learning the
Yes.
importance of a good soundbite,
Yes.
man. Where
Yes.
you
See, I'm making all these really stupid comments to give Ben practice running the soundboard. In
You
case
guys were going off topic and getting lost.
Why did you say lost, Ben?
Because Emily de Raven from Lost was in this movie.
You know, it took me about like 15 minutes before I realized that was her because she didn't have an Australian
yeah, she didn't have
accent
her.
in this.
This is the first time I've actually seen her. Actually, no, I think she was in Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah,
And
yeah, she was.
Yeah,
she was
didn't
in Hills
have the
Eyes.
accent in there, but that was before starting to watch Lost. And
It was like maybe season 2 or 3.
it was
of Lost,
around
I
it,
think.
yeah. But I didn't get into Lost until like I started watching it, but I lost track.
Well, they kept moving it like
Yeah.
the different time slots. so
Yeah,
it was
but
hard to
once I
track.
like really got into it and was dedicated to the damn show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Scott,
I
you
didn't
kind of
recognize her.
had a little man crush on her throughout this film. didn't
Man
you?
Dude.
crush? That's not a man crush. That's just a
man
fucking crush.
That's a crush. She's hot.
Wow.
She does not. She is.
I was talking about Goldberg.
Oh,
Well, who doesn't?
Yeah, right. All right, we had a little crush on whatever on
Emily Day
Claire.
Claire.
Yeah.
Yes. Which and
Fran Drescher was looking pretty fine in this.
I have to admit, she did.
Get that
for her age.
fine, like the other character she played, Miss Fine, on the other character she played in the.
I don't remember. What?
Beautician and the Beast.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
You guys
Fran
just don't
Drescher's
watch
career.
enough late night TV.
No, we don't. We have lives.
Yeah, sorry.
We don't
work
do.
during
Yeah,
the day.
yeah. We work during the day and sleep at night. Soundbite.
Dear Lord, thank you for the bountiful food that you've provided for us, and that our loving family can be together this Christmas. Also, thank you for not making us poor or Samoan.
See, Ben, it's practice.
It
Awkward
is.
silences are part of the training.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Who else was in this? Dave Thomas was in this.
Yeah, Dave
was.
Thomas
Dave
from
Strange Brew.
SCTV.
He was on.
SCTV.
He did a couple of cameos on that '70s show.
You pick like the most obscure parts of these people's
That's-
career.
I know,
to
right?
Reference.
Oh yeah, he was in the Wendy's commercial.
yeah.
Oh, wrong, Dave Thomas.
Oh no. But
Yeah, he played the priest that was stealing from the congregation, was stealing from the collection plate and going to the strip club where
to feed a strip club addiction.
to feed a strip club addiction.
I mean, helping those poor souls who are forced to dance on the poles.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was important to have that role in it and have him as like the crooked preacher. So they had like a scapegoat at the end of the movie. So you can't fucking kill
exactly.
Goldberg. You know?
Yeah.
He was too awesome of a character to kill him off.
Yeah, Goldberg kept him around. He just kind of kept, just had him there in his sleigh.
Yeah.
And then
It was his out for the end.
Yeah, it was his out.
Yeah, so at the end of the movie, when they're looking for Santa Goldberg's dead body, they find the priest and he's on a plane to fucking Poland or wherever he's going.
Santa Claus turned into a biker and went off to the North Pole.
Yeah.
Which one of the points in this film where what was it? Nicholas, played by Douglas.
I wasn't
Smith.
in the movie.
Not you, Nicholas.
Oh.
Douglas Smith, the kid from Big Love.
Yeah.
He was his whole thing was okay. Well, by the end of Christmas Day, Santa Claus can no longer slay people.
Yeah.
He had to stop his massacre. And towards the end of the film, we're getting towards like the climax of it. He points it out to him and says, "Oh well, at the North Pole at this point, it's past midnight. It's no longer Christmas." And Santa responds with this soundbite.
Most people make the same mistake. correct time at the pole is completely discretionary. Because the poles are where all the time zones actually converge.
He's scary yet educational.
So, what I'm saying, nitwits, is that Christmas is over when I say it's over.
So he's very educational.
Yeah, basically just calls him an idiot and tells him to shut up and whoop his ass.
Which I thought was kind of interesting. Yeah, I like that little that little touch. He's like, okay, he's not just a psychopath that likes to go around killing people on a certain day of the year. He's also very educated.
He done did some book learning.
Well, he was able to recognize Charles Dickens as well too.
Oh my God, that was
the all-time greatest line of this movie.
Oh, fuck it, Soundbite.
Christmas can sure scare the dickens out of people.
Yeah,
that was 100% liquid awesome there.
On instinct, I almost just said Soundbite there and hit my own little Soundbite board, but we didn't have it.
We know what happened.
We'd have had another cow says move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that line was the epitome of the whole movie right there. The script writing was just so good.
Oh yeah,
it was very well done, very crafted.
And then he hit him with a book.
Yeah, he threw a book at the guy's face.
He threw the book at Nicholas's face.
I did like how he had like a little smoke bomb in that scene too. It was kind of like Santa was like Batman almost. He just had all these little gadgets.
He
had freaking presents that exploded and little.
He did his preparation. He was like, I know where this is. He's going to be over here. This and he planned for every little thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm pretty sure he had shark repellent in there.
Maybe.
Yep.
I don't know.
Heel-toed rocket-powered Santa boots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just in case somebody catches him in a quicksand cake.
Yeah.
Or something.
Soundbite.
Holy metronome, what a fate! Punched in a player piano roll. True, Robin, scarcely an end I'd ever anticipate. Life, a cup full of surprises to the last drop.
See, obscure Batman references are another, useful thing to prepare you for taking over the Soundbite board.
I've just been reading a lot of Batman comics, so I'm like, I gotta put Batman here somewhere. I know we're gonna get into it. We always do. So I don't know what this movie was.
It's got too much. It's basically what happens when you
don't know where to begin.
A stupid idea, plan it out well, execute it well, and give it a half
Yes,
budget.
it's a very good example of no matter how idiotic the idea is, if you do it right and you're true to the story and you're very you know how to mold it properly, it can turn out to be something that is actually halfway decent. And I think they just knocked it out of the park with this one.
Oh, big time.
It's awesome. I really hope that they do a sequel. They kind of left it up for a sequel.
Well, I think they would have announced a sequel by now. This came out in 2005, so I would think they would come out with it. I think they would have announced a sequel by now.
Well, they ended it with you see him going back to the North Pole at the end, or he's trying to get back to the North Pole because they destroyed his not destroyed, they fucking blew up his buffalo reindeer with a fucking bazooka. Where the hell did that come?
Yeah, that just came
it kind of had the feel that a lot of our projects have. It's scripted out. The beats are lining up where they're supposed to, and then right at the end, you're like, "Well, how the fuck do we get out of this?" I don't know.
Deus Ex Machina, man. Give somebody a bazooka.
Out of budget. Don't know where this is going. Let's just.
Give him a bazooka and blow him up. All right, that's all.
And then put him on a plane and send him back to the North Pole.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for a sequel of Santa comes back for the Russian Moscow Christmas. That would have been cool.
Yeah. The end. I mean, everything was very entertaining. The end was entertaining. It was kind of funny, seeing him more as in his biker look, because I mean that's what. I would think modern age Viking would be like a biker type of dude. Yeah. So I thought that was a good fit. But I mean, I kind of wanted a little bit more. Just at the end, it seems like they were like, okay, let's just end it, blow up his sleigh, and put him on a plane to the North Pole.
Yeah, you can kind of tell. Like I guess the guy who made this film, this was kind of like his first film, and he's been thinking about it and like doing a lot of stuff, and it does kind of reek of like first time director type thing. I think.
Yeah, but at the same time, you could tell that he was really passionate.
He was very passionate and very dedicated and very organized.
For something you'd think would be a really bad movie, he put a lot of love into this one.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
It was,
Yes.
I mean, you can just tell, just the attention to detail, everything from like, Santa's, costume, which was phenomenal.
It was awesome. It was really
Yes.
cool.
To, the incredibly Nordic looking Santa sleigh, to the set design,
Because you had like the Viking shields on the side of it.
I think the set design was good in like the old man's house, and then everywhere else I thought it was kind of subpar.
Yeah, I do.
It was all right.
The deli was pretty crappy looking.
Yeah, it was like
really
a
crappy.
giant.
There was a box with a booth.
Yeah,
So-
too much room for a deli.
Yeah.
That guy was paying too much rent for that place.
Oh, big time.
Absolutely.
The only problem I had with this film was goddamn Douglas Smith.
I didn't really. I never really.
He played
Nicholas.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never really liked him
He was
in
the main.
anything.
He was the main guy. His acting doesn't seem very natural. Like when I'm watching something, I like everyone else in this movie. When you're watching them, you believed in what they were doing and what they said. With him, it reminded you, okay, I'm watching a movie. It was almost like going to a middle school, high school performance.
Yeah. Like,
You're sitting there, you're like, okay, this is a play. Or
he sort of had this look, like, I don't know if it was just the director messing around, but he had this sort of look, like, if it wasn't the fact he wasn't, it looked like he was reading, lines almost at some points.
Yeah,
it was just the way he delivered them. It was just very unbelievable sort of thing.
Yes, it was his delivery of his lines were not that good.
Yeah.
Damn good job for Emily DeRaven for
She did
pulling
good, yeah.
pulling him through the whole.
I think all the other actors were decent.
Everyone in this movie was decent except for him. I didn't like him, and for throwing him in the main character spot, pretty much, or one of the main character spots, was I thought that was kind of a bad move.
Yeah.
I thought they could have picked anyone else, but
the old man, I think
they
would
were
have
just
been
they were really going for like a sort of young looking, innocent looking kid.
Well, there's a difference between young and innocent looking, and then just doesn't fucking know his lines and is.
The kind of vibe I got almost, or kind of. I don't know if they were intending for this or not, but I was kind of getting like the relationship between the kid and the old man in this was kind of like a Michael J. Fox and Doc Brown type thing. That's kind of what I thought, because like the old man was kind of quirky and old and invented stuff.
I can see where you're going. I mean,
and he's the not necessarily young.
It was
kid,
sort of.
but
They did say he was sort of like an inventor.
Yeah,
all that stuff, and they got along, but
I wonder if that was like the motivation behind these characters or something.
I could kind of see that.
Yeah.
I could kind of see that, but he isn't. He's definitely no Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Soundbite. Just wanted to hit my soundbite board. I don't know.
I know you've done almost an entire episode and only hit it third time now.
No.
Hey, why don't you hit this one you drew on the table? I'm sure it does all sorts. Wait, let me hit it.
Doesn't do anything.
Nope.
Yeah, it's just it's a table.
Guys are bastards.
You just smudged up the glass.
Yeah,
you gotta clean that.
Well, that means I have one button left.
No, you hit it three times.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't. Yeah.
You got nothing else.
You could try to hit them all at the same time.
I'll find a button.
Yeah, hit them all at the same time.
I'm gonna find a button around here somewhere.
Move my board over here.
Can I hit one now? On there? Can I hit like the old board? Soundbite.
Ho, ho, hoes.
Moving on.
Yes. Shit.
You guys are weird.
This feels like it's going to be a short one.
Yeah, maybe. There's not really a whole lot.
It's what happens when you have a movie that really doesn't have whole
there
ton
really
of stuff. I mean,
yeah.
I could say
They had a snowmobile.
yeah.
That was cool.
They did manage, when they were driving the snowmobile, they did manage to hit the only snow mound in the middle of the town square.
Yes.
But, from someone who's actually driven a snowmobile, I have to say that once you do ramp a snowmobile, you sort of want to do it again and again and again until you break something.
I haven't ridden a snowmobile, but I have done that, on a ATV, and I would have to say that's probably the same feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Like once you do that first jump, you're like, I want to do that again and bigger. And
I've ridden a jet ski before, and I prefer those because you can actually fall into the water and not die.
yeah, this movie overall was just it was very well done.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
And they played
I
off.
enjoyed it.
They definitely played off of Bill Goldberg being a wrestler, because I think this was right around at the end when he was wrapping up his career. as a pro wrestler.
Yeah, he's not doing any pro wrestling anymore at all.
No, he's retired. How many? I know that you were keeping track, Scott. How many wrestling moves did Bill Goldberg use in this?
Oh man, surprisingly few actually. It was like two moves that I'll just sort of vaguely classify as body slams, and he did the spear move. And other than that, there was no major.
No pile drivers.
Which was that was sort of disappointing. I was really wanting Santa, just to backbreakers and suplexes, all the classic, wrestling moves.
Well, he did
ham
do
it up like crazy.
He did do a quasi hip toss at one point.
Sorta, yeah.
I was really expecting more because they did kind of allude. If you know Goldberg or are familiar with his works of art in the wrestling ring, you
feel like it's a Matisse painting.
Yeah, I don't know. You could pick up on certain things, like at the very end when he's got the little knit hat on, he's got the Goldberg tattoo on that.
Yes.
So,
and they used that tattoo in the Santa Claus logo throughout the whole thing. It was like his branding. They said it was like Batman branding almost, where he had his tattoo logo from wrestling days with the Santa Claus in the middle of it.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. So I was expecting more wrestling moves and didn't get didn't get any either. So
the only one that, like you said, we had the like a military press, and
he did
two military presses.
Two military presses and
a spear.
That was really the only majorly recognizable things as far as wrestling.
I mean, the spear was one of his.
He threw people around, and that's not saying that this movie didn't just excel at the original sort of killing things. It wasn't dull in that department at all. It was just sort of lacking.
There was a lot of very interesting kills. It wasn't your normal slasher film where it's just them cutting people up or
it was kills that involved props, which in this sort of movie, that's what you need.
One of the best kills was again in that fucking strip club scene. Had some really awesome.
I think that clearly did stand out as like one of the better, better kills.
Yeah,
sets,
you just liked it because there were boobs. I just liked it because there was boobs.
Yeah, there was a lot of tits and
boobs.
I'm glad that our new holiday favorites have boobs in them.
Yeah. It's like boobs. All right, we're fans of it. No, he takes the stripper pole that now he's using as a bow staff.
Yeah.
And hits a guy with it, and the guy catches it or whatever. So now the guy that he's fighting is holding the staff, and he has this like, I got the upper hand. Goldberg just kicks the bottom of the staff, which shoves it straight up into a light up in the ceiling, which ended up electrocuting the guy. And I thought that was like one of the most clever kills right there. I've never seen that before. And then what else? He was magical too. He was able to shoot like flaming pieces of coal out of his mouth.
Yeah. Well, he had a piece of coal in the strip club.
He made it out of his hands.
And he blew on it
and turned into fire and just toss and burnt the whole place down.
Torch the strip club, which was, that was a pretty cool effect the way they pulled that off.
Yes. And another, we were saying his signature moves, like the spear that he did in it was in the deli, right? He went through the display case,
the Jewish deli,
and the Jewish deli.
Funniest thing I think about it that got the biggest laugh I think from me maybe was I think the Charles Dickens joke got the biggest laugh, but the other one, the second biggest laugh at least, was there's a bunch of Jewish people walking by and the cops think they're Amish. I thought that was kind of funny.
That was pretty good. Yeah. Take this kid downtown. Get those Amish people too.
Yes. Another small little detail that I thought was pretty interesting was the town that they lived in was called Hell's.
It was Hell County.
Well, Hell's Townsburg or whatever. Or
Hell's Township.
Yeah, they didn't really. Did they say what town they lived in? I thought they just told.
Yeah, it was called Hell's Township. That was the name of
the town. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and on the side of the squad cars, it said, "Crime has no chance in hell."
Yeah.
Well, which was also another kind of callback to wrestling too. If you guys know wrestling out there, Vince McMahon of WWE's theme music is "No Chance in Hell."
I didn't really connect those two. I just thought,
I didn't either.
Funny name, but
well, I mean, that's just like at the beginning too.
Well, that's why I laughed, and I was like, look, it's.
Well, I like how they had reason to like live in hell. And Soundbite.
How did you know I'd find you?
You said you'd go to hell and back to find me once the bet was over. So I moved to Hell Township.
Is your grandfather always so literal?
I saw you had that one labeled, so I just hit the button. So, yeah, I liked how the old man was, said, that they'd search through heaven and hell to find him again.
Yeah, so they
moved to hell.
Yeah, he moved to hell.
I think
it's time to wrap it up. Let's make this a short one.
Wrap it up.
Shorter one than what we
do. It's what happens when when we stumble onto a good movie.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about. This was a fun film. I liked it. I mean, it could have been better, I think, but it was fun. It was good.
It's deceiving. You look at it and you say, this is going to suck. And then you watch it and you realize that
it was really good.
It didn't suck.
It was very good.
It had good production value. It had almost an all-star cast, nearly. It was, I mean, it was,
fucking Douglas Smith.
Bastard, but yeah, but yeah, and it had passionate directors and producers and all that sort of stuff, and it came out really good.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not we don't like to bash actors out there. I mean, they're out there making movies. I mean, they have to be doing something
not
right,
sitting around doing shitty podcast.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be doing something right or blowing the right people. But he's just I don't think that he fit in this film. I didn't think this was his type of film.
No, he's decent in Big Love because he's like the quirky, like awkward,
he's all right
Mormon kid.
Yeah, but this just didn't seem like the dialogue just didn't flow out of his mouth as believable as it does everyone else. Like this just seemed very forced.
I mean, even Goldberg's. I think even Goldberg had he's not that great of an actor by all means, and some of his stuff is very shitty.
But it was
still fun.
It was good. Yeah. I thought he did a fantastic job. It was almost like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator. I mean, he did a fantastic job in that because he's playing a fucking robot.
Yeah, they made him a freaking angry Norse god of Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And that's what he was good at. They didn't give him a whole lot of lines, but that's probably a good thing, right?
The little lines that he did have were really good.
And he did his own stunts, too. So.
Yeah.
So
it didn't end up have any ridiculously skinny-looking Bill Goldbergs flying through stuff.
All right, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this shit up.
Alrighty, Ben. So, 1 being best movie in the world, 10 being the worst movie in the world. What do you give this?
This I would have to say would have gotten a 1.5 for me.
Oh, damn, that's pretty high.
Yeah, shit. Between from when we watched it to when we got in here, I ordered it online.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Well, that's a first.
Yeah. But no, I'm gonna give it a 2.5 because of fucking Douglas Smith. I thought if he did a little bit better of a job, I mean, it would have been just that nice bow on the present.
It would have been the menorah on the top of the Christmas tree. Menorahs don't really go on Christmas trees, do they?
Well, no. They go in windowsills and tables.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, Scott!
Okay. So I figure there were 2 moments of when Santa body slammed people, so I'm going to give this 2. That's right, 2 body slamming Santas. For most of the same reason. Ben seems to be, reading my mind here the last couple of movies as far as ratings go.
Yeah.
Speaks the truth. It had, for the most part, excellent acting, excellent direction, good, albeit silly plot, which came out really well in the end. Yes. And I have nothing really to hate about this movie except for Douglas Smith. He sucked.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it 2 body slamming Santas.
Yeah.
All right. So I liked it. I didn't like it as much as you guys did. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I think I would have liked to see them go a little bit more over the top with Goldberg's kills, and just I wanted more Goldberg and more badassness from him.
Well, hopefully, if they do a sequel, they'll have a bigger budget and they'll do that.
Yeah, maybe. It was still a good film. I liked it. It was better than I anticipated, I think. But that isn't saying much because I was expecting like ultra massive shit and didn't get it. I just got like a little poopsie. No, it turned out to be pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah.
You were wanting diarrhea, but instead you just had gas.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. All right, so
here I sit, broken-hearted, paid a dime, and only farted.
Oh. Yeah, so this can basically be, our early Christmas present to all you listeners out there.
Yeah,
go watch this movie.
Yes, go watch it right now.
Not be disappointed.
Is this on Netflix?
It is on Netflix.
Okay.
It's in stores. I saw it at Movie Stop. It's fairly cheap.
It's a good stocking stuffer. This is like I would be I'd be okay if somebody bought it for me.
And if you do have Netflix, it's on the watch instantly, so you don't have to wait to get it in the mail. You could watch it automatically right there. If you have an iPhone, you could watch it on your iPhone or an iPod Touch. You could watch it right there on your iPod Touch or your iPads. We are not sponsored by Apple whatsoever.
I don't know what you're
I just like the fact that you can watch this movie on all of these different medias. So that's
just watch it everywhere.
Just
on
watch
everything.
it everywhere and on everything, and quote the hell out of it.
Yep.
It was good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It was good.
I
it
wouldn't
was a
mind
pleasant
watching it
surprise, which
Yes.
is nice, every once in a while.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely gonna watch it again before the end of this.
So here's
holiday
an
season.
interesting question: what do you think was better, this or Thanksgiving?
I enjoyed this.
I would have to say this was better. Dude, it's like comparing apples and
It
oranges.
really just comes down to the budget. I mean, they were both really good at what they did.
I think if
I give the
Thanksgiving
edge out to this just because
if
better budget.
Thanksgiving, if they had a budget like this, I think they would have probably been able to do a little bit more.
I was more pleasantly surprised by Thanksgiving than I was by this one. I think.
I was more pleasantly surprised with Thanksgiving because watching the trailer for Thanksgiving just seemed like it was complete. It was going to be complete shit, and then watching it like, oh, okay, yeah, it's supposed to be this way. Watching the trailer for this, I got, okay, this is supposed to be a comedy, and it looks fairly good. And then reading up on it, I'm like, this sounds really good. It sounds funny. It sounds like it's going to be very interesting, and it was. So, like I said, it's apples and oranges.
Yeah,
but I would think I would probably watch this again before I watch Thanksgiving again.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. What's on the list for next week? It's your pick, right, Nick?
Yep, next pick.
Yeah.
Are you? Are you like?
I don't know.
Oh, it's one of these again.
Yeah, when I say I dropped the ball, I really dropped the ball. I didn't pull sound effects. I didn't research for this. I didn't even think about what I'm going to do next week.
You were sick the week before, so
yeah,
that's no fucking excuse. This whole like the past 3 days, you're like, hey, you want to go to a party on Friday? I'm like, dude, we have a podcast. Oh
yeah,
that's right.
I forgot. Anyway, I don't know. It's I don't know. I think I've got a few up in the air.
Well, tell us the few that you have.
One is I may have a special guest for us, maybe for next week, maybe. And we'll be watching perhaps a film called oh crap, I got to look it up. What was it? Raging Phoenix. Okay. Which is basically
isn't that like a Thai film?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work or not. I don't know. I gotta do a little bit of research on it.
The good news is we subtitle all our podcasts, so you can read along, on the podcast while you're listening.
It may be Raging Phoenix, which is a film about a chick who basically breakdance fights throughout the whole film. Or I'm thinking of tapping the Unmentionable Man's film and subjecting us all to a U-Bowl film.
Oh, God.
Dr. Uwe Boll.
Oh, he's a doctor?
Yeah, he's a doctor.
Oh, man.
I'm thinking of doing Postal.
I've never seen that movie, but it's U-Boll, so it's going to be shitty.
Yeah. I saw it once, and I think it would be an interesting topic of discussion.
And is that it? Just between those two?
Well, there's always Super Babies, too. Baby Genius.
That's like your fallback.
Yeah. Baby Genius.
When he runs out of ideas, we will watch that horrible abomination.
With the track record that you have given yourself this week, you would probably be watching Super Babies.
I don't know. I really don't know. We'll see.
You're gonna show up Friday and be like, I don't have a movie. Let's just pick one of yours.
Yeah, right.
As long as you bring in a resident baby expert, super powered baby expert.
Guys, we're gonna watch Black Hawk Down.
Shitty movie.
Do you know what I hated about that movie? Its unrealistic portrayal of
Soundbite.
That right there. It's an unrealistic portrayal of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yes. Until next week.
I am Nick.
I am Ben.
And I'm Scott Svinehunden.
What's Swinehunden mean?
It means pig dog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
Scott Pig Dog.
there we go. Was that Nordic?
That's German.
Because they did Nordic in Santa's.
I don't know any Nordic. It's probably similar, but I don't know.
All right, that's it. All right, have a good week.
Later.
See ya.
Bye-bye, Santa. Santa, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Santa. I ain't gonna cry. You kill my grams and they try to kill me. I hope your spray goes down in the sea. Bye-bye, Santa. Santa, bye-bye.